Racing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
We are live here from Knoxville Raceway in the UMP Modifieds for tonight. 50 laps is actually the planned lap event, so an extra 20 laps has been added for tonight. Welcome to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Finally, we are back for 2018. I, of course, am literally the one and only Gary Weaver, and of course you can catch me on Race Spot TV or Live Sim Racing TV on at least Sundays for LSR TV. Go ahead and mention whoever you want to ride on board with in the chat, or at least one lap around, or maybe a couple laps. Of course, if you do have any suggestions on camera angles and whatnot, basically just whoever want to, if I can properly speak, whoever you want to ride on board with, and go ahead and say either their name or their car number in the chat. Of course, that will be scrolling up across the top of your screen. Picture will be up in just a few moments. I, of course, have not exactly planned for almost everybody to be showing up. Of course, qualifying is still underway. Just a few more minutes remaining at this point. Pretty much about 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in qualifying. Almost everybody's taken the lap time. 8 drivers out of what looks to be... 8 drivers out of 16, I believe. Alright, I was wrong. 14. I was 2 off. Close, though. Nonetheless, once again, picture coming up. Knoxville Raceway. It is pretty amazing to watch. And, of course, UMP Modified is even better. I have tried both, honestly. And let's just leave it at it didn't go well. I, for one, personally cannot drive the UMP Modifieds at all. So... of course, these drivers can, so at least they know what they're doing. Of course, fortunately, I have lost wherever I was working on, and I have found it once again. Trying to do other things here, so of course, once again, picture should be up in just a while. Knoxville Raceway is really, really an amazing track, though. I can say that from either... in a way, experience, but then again, that's not really a thing. I have done testing. I've never actually raced at Knoxville. Qualifying session has now ended. So, of course, we will be starting to grid up once the pace car actually sits there, and it does. So, we timed this perfect. Starting grid for tonight, once we focus on the pace truck here. This is where you're going to be seeing pretty much the entire race tonight, so have fun with that. Of course, that is also a new addition to our overlay. We have changed the overlay just a little bit as well, but we'll be going over your starting grid. Starting in first place on the inside is going to be the number 23 of Chris Walker. Randy Arms starts in second just beside him. He the host of this event. Only 0.04 of a second off as well. Amazing lap time by Randy. Starting in row number 2 will be Austin Moore and Tim Sandlin. Both of those drivers will be starting side by side again. Basically just about 1/10 of a second off. 0.09 of a second is the difference there between these two. Glenn Murphy Jr. in the number 5 starts in 5th place. Johnny Wood Jr. starts in 6th in car number 9. Goodness, I'm getting confused by my own overlay. That is insanely sad. It's been a long 3 months, but you know. Michael Tant in the number 50 starts in 7th, 8th to his outside. Chris Ostrander in the number 73. He is the person that I can sort of thank, I guess. Both he and Randy. Chris Ostrander is the owner of the Anarchy Motorsports series, or at least the league itself, so thanks to him for having this league, or else I wouldn't be doing this right now. Of course, I just decided to take my opportunity and do this as of tonight. Brendan Gritz in the number 114 starts in 9th. Glenn Irwin in the number 42 starts in 10th. First driver to not take a lap time. Unsure, but I believe somebody else is not showing up. That would be Greg Garrison in the number 6. He's not on here at all. And Clay Dildon in the number 10, also not here. Starts in 12th. There's Garrison. And then Nicholas Wilder starts 15th. And hello, fireworks. I did not plan for this. Knoxville Raceway, what are you doing? Trying to see if we can zoom out here. 2 pace laps around here, so look at these amazing fireworks here above Knoxville Raceway. Oh my goodness. 13 drivers originally were scheduled to start. 4 of those drivers not here. It means only 9 drivers will be starting this race. I have fireworks at both sides of the racetrack. Oh, that's even more fun. Alright, you guys can stop the fireworks now, please. Oh, goodness. I think they're going to stop the fireworks anytime soon, but nonetheless, they've got the backstretch fireworks still going on. I guess they're trying to waste those as quick and as fast as possible. So waiting for that to go off. On board the safety truck. Green is about to fly here at Knoxville Raceway, underway in the UMP Modified Series. Or with the UMP Modifieds, I should say. Chris Walker already down into turns 1 and 2, pretty much 3 wide already, straight behind these drivers. Some of them having a few issues as well. Luckily, they do manage to get it sorted out. So Chris Walker in the number 23 starts off and leads the first lap of the night. Right behind him in the number 55 is going to be Austin Moore. Randy Arms right there in the number 8. Glenn Murphy Jr. in that number 5 in 4th place. Johnny Wood in 5th as well. And then you have Michael Tant, Tim Sandlin, Brendan Gritz, and Chris Ostrander. Pretty much just single file as of right now. But not really a lot of action at the moment. Well, right when I say that, I believe Glenn Murphy Jr. actually had a little bit of a run on Johnny Wood Jr. That 5 having a run on the number 9, and a little bit of an interesting thing here for Knoxville Raceway. Unlike other dirt tracks, Knoxville Raceway, I'm going to ride on board with Glenn Murphy Jr. here. Your ticker will be scrolling across in just a while, but you can just barely see where that gray area is. That is pretty much also in turns 1 and 2. In a way, that's like a curve. You know how you turn to a driveway? Well, that's pretty much how it is at this track. And Glenn Murphy Jr., you can see right there is where it is located in the turns. So a little bit of its own unique difference for Knoxville Raceway. Battle for second seems to be brewing around here. It's going to be Randy Arms in the number 8 looking to the inside of Austin Moore. Can't get it done as of yet. And he's going to dive it to the inside, almost makes contact. Johnny Wood Jr. is going to join in on this. We're going to ride on board with him. Maybe not. I should wait We're going to wait here and get an external camera angle of this because this battle is definitely heating up. But in a way, to make this more exciting, as you can see, Randy's going to get on that little curb as of right now as well in turns 1 and 2. This driver's running the low line as opposed to the usual high lane. Well, for starters, these vehicles are a little bit larger than the sprint cars as well. You can see the number 23 all the way in front as well, just now entering turn number 3 in that blue and black UMP modified. Well, that battle for second has stopped for right now, so we're going to take an onboard in-car look at Chris Walker as he's going to make his way out to number 2. We're going to watch his steering right here. Look at how much he's turning this wheel right now as well. In fact, he's actually turning it. He's actually keeping that wheel to a smooth pace as well. It's actually really interesting because, well, in dirt, you don't really keep the wheel straight. You do, but that's just for a small moment as well. He's going to come off of turn number 2. That battle for second is now going to become a battle for third. I think Johnny Wood actually got just a little bit of that wall coming out turn number 2 as well. Austin Moore in second. Third place, Randy Arms, Johnny Wood 4th. 5th, Glenn Murphy. Michael Tant 6th. Sandlin 7th. Chris Ostrander sitting in pit road, unfortunately. Not sure if something happened to him or not. We're going to see if we can get some kind of a replay on that as soon as we can. I'm not really sure what has happened, but nonetheless, the battle for second is now definitely starting to heat up. You can see Austin Moore in that 55 running the very high lane. Yeah, that's something you don't really see in the UMP Modified. Here comes the number 9 of Johnny Wood Jr. As Randy Arms is going to look to the inside. He couldn't get it done off of turn number 2. He got to the inside, but that's all he could do. Now the number 9 of Wood Jr. is going to be looking to the inside, or at least trying to get his piece of the battle in some sort of a way. 14 laps complete. Should I say working for lap 14. 14 laps will be completed as of right now. The leader crosses the start-finish line. Randy Arms getting deadly close, and just a little bit too close for comfort on Austin Moore, the number 5 in the distance. That's Glenn Murphy Jr. He's going to be joining in on this, and I think the 50 of Michael Tant will also be joining as well. Because Michael, you can see him just in the far distance right there. As now the number 8's just going to come up and block that view. He's looking to the inside. Still couldn't get it done. You can see how sideways these drivers are as well. I swear these drivers are right up against the wall, and it's stressing me out just a little bit, and I'm just watching this. Randy Arms trying to do everything that he can to at least get beside Austin Moore. There's number 23, your leader. You can see all the dirt and the marbles and everything that's on the track just getting flicked up to the wall. And Randy Arms looking to the outside, couldn't get it done again. I think a little bit of contact was made as well. Chris Walker so far has led at least every single lap. 17 laps led. 18 is what we are working on right now. You can see just the complete distance between these drivers as well, at least between Chris Walker and everybody else. A little bit of a comparison here as well. Chris Walker is in first on your left. On the right side is going to be Austin Moore in second, and well, that time has pretty much increased to about 3 seconds as of right now. A little bit of an even closer battle, however. It's going to be Randy Arms and Austin Moore. Again, Randy's still trying to do everything that he can to at least get beside or get by Austin Moore. Can't do anything as of yet. Randy's just being forced right now to at least run the high lane and nothing else. I say at least every lane that Austin is running. A little bit less sideways was Randy Arms as well. 30 laps to go now. The race is going by very quick as well. Just watching this battle so far, still no move for for anything as of yet. Randy's still trying to get around Austin Moore. I think he really can, actually. Randy's trying everything that he can do. Gonna ride on board with Randy Arms as well. Let's take a look at his speed as well. Bottom left corner, and then the bottom left corner of the overlay. 116, at least 116 was his top speed. You can see how much Randy's working that wheel on the left-hand side of your screen as well. Look at that speedometer as well. Just right where his right hand is, right about there. You can see that. He's hitting the rev limiter, and then he lets off the throttle to coast it in. 27 laps to go. Chris Ostrander still in pit road. Probably just deciding to watch this race instead. Brendan Gritt's also out of this race. And a little bit of a battle in the back, actually. They were side by side. I think that was a position change for 6th place between Michael Tan and Glenn Murphy Jr. Or at least that was just a look to the inside of Murphy. And Randy Arms just pretty much still... Randy Arms, I don't think he even knows what the word give up means. It's 2 words, actually. And he's going to be right on the back bumper. Coming down the back straightaway. Halfway this time around. 24 laps to go. I think a little bit of contact was made. I heard some contact. I believe that was between the 55 and the 8. It'll take a quick second to go through your field as of just a few laps ago. And that's going to change once they cross the start-finish line. Now back to the important action and the fun stuff. Because, oh my goodness, this is insane. So as far as I can see, never mind, the second closest battle is actually going to be for 5th. The 2 battles, the 55 and the 8, and then the 5 and the 50. And caught in between this is old Johnny Wood Jr. And right on the quarter panel was Randy Arms. He's going to be looking to the inside right now. 21 laps to go. Not enough momentum to keep it there. Tries to use the curb as an advantage of some sort. Unfortunately, that was not the case for Randy. And now he's going to have to catch up all over again. And oh, 55 into the wall. Austin Moore got into the wall. Just coming out of turn number 4 as well. Saw his car. He's going to spin out as well. Caution is out for the first time tonight. And that's because of Austin Moore spinning out, coming into turns 1 and 2. You can see the pace truck right there. I'm going to take a replay and see what happened to Austin Moore. He just completely spun it coming out of turns 1 and 2. There he gets into the wall, and that, I think that broke the suspension. He's doing just fine right here. Breaks loose, gets into the marbles, and spins out. Causing that caution, the only caution of the night as well, and luckily, it was just a 1-car incident. Looks like Austin's going to get his position regained. Chris Ostrander back out on track as well. And the pace truck lights are still on. You can see the pace truck lights right there on the left-hand side, obviously clearly flashing as well. Down low 23. I think Chris is kind of bored, just a bit. Okay, very bored. So, question is double or single file restarts. Looks like we will have double file as well. Oh my goodness. This is going to be interesting. Chris Walker has led every single lap, all 33 so far. No one has knocked him off his first place podium. Waiting for the pace truck to head down. You can see Chris Walker, he's waiting just a little bit. Pace truck off, he's down and away already. Green is back out. Randy Arms in second. And he's going to be all over the back bumper. Oh, goodness gracious, never mind. Everyone's already scrambling for position. Got the 50 on the inside of the 5 right there. And the 5 is almost making contact with Johnny Wood as well. 15 laps to go. That battle has sorted itself out. Chris is now pulling away. And the 50 of Michael Tant, he's going to get a little bit loose. He's going to fall back, and luckily he does keep it under control. So once again, we are back to the single file that we had, or whatever's closest to single file. And when I say that, battle in the back, I should say. 50 and 55. Austin Moore on the low side in that 55. The 50 of Michael Tant's going to be running that high lane. Should I say the middle lane? He'll get that 7th place position. And Sandlin on the receiving end of an offensive attempt by Michael Tant, who goes a little bit wide and into turn number 1. And the 55 is into the wall again, coming out of turn number 2. He's going to keep it under control. 12 laps to go. And look at Randy Arms, that momentum he just gained heading into turn number 1, running that same line as Chris Walker. Running a little bit higher is going to be the 8 of Randy Arms. Number 23 of Chris Walker has led, as of right now, 39 laps. We still have a battle in the back. That 11 of Tim Sandlin is not going down without a fight. Actually, no, he is, I believe. Unfortunate for him, as Michael Tant's going to move up to 5th. They can put the 50 in 5th. But can you put the 8 in 1st? And that's something we're going to have to find out in the next 10 laps. Heading down into turn number 3 and 4 for the 40th time. And Randy Arms getting a little bit more momentum, actually. I'm not sure. In fact, an easy way to do this is not just track position, but also the time difference. Speaking of which, previous lap times for both drivers will be coming across, at least this time around. Once they cross the start-finish line, I will let you guys know. And hello, right up against the back bumper. I don't think that's even necessary, but I think listing the lap times is necessary. Never mind, here comes Randy Arms down to the inside lane to try and get by Chris Walker. Got into the curbing just a little bit. Still couldn't get it done. Last time around, 20.021, 19.910. That's for first and second last time around. This time around, 19.892, 19.971. Randy Arms to the inside, still can't get it done. Almost makes contact with the left rear quarter panel. Randy is now desperate, and he's trying everything that he can do to get that lead. Running pretty much the same line. Randy's got the advantage coming out of turn number 2. It seems to be at least every single lap. That time around, not so much. Chris Walker a little bit more sideways than it looks like he wants to be. But he does keep it going, and he's still going strong. 5 laps to go. Let's not count out the number 9 of Johnny Wood Jr. either. He's been sitting up here pretty much the entire race, sitting in the top 5 of the entire race. In 4th for a majority of it. 4 laps to go. Look at the amount of dirt on all 3 of these cars. Randy Arms in second. He has 3 more laps. Can make an attempt for that first place position. But look at Johnny Wood Jr. heading to the inside. Also a battle for 4th place, it seems. Johnny Wood Jr. was looking to the inside coming after number 2. 2 more laps for Randy. Randy's got that run coming after number 4 onto the outside lane. Couldn't get it done. He tried to get to the outside lane. Now he's going to look to the inside lane coming into turn number 2. And he's barely got it, just coming onto the back straightaway. Loses it once again. Randy has one more lap, and Chris Walker has one more lap as well to at least retain his lead one more time around here, Knoxville Raceway. Randy Arms looking to the inside. All right, he's going to get the advantage coming out turn number 2, side-by-side contact. Randy Arms has the advantage heading down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. A last lap pass for Randy Arms, a little bit of a slide job as well. Randy Arms coming out of turn number contact, turn number 4. Making the pass for the win coming out of turn number 2. Good job to Randy Arms at the number 8 on that win tonight. That was absolutely incredible. A last lap pass. Randy seemed like he couldn't get it done, but in the end, he just fooled basically everybody. 49 laps led by Chris Walker, 1 lap led by Randy Arms. Randy's going to try and do some donuts here in the front straightaway. He's actually doing a really good job at that too. An exciting race. May or may not get a word with him. We'll check that out in just a little bit. You can hear the fireworks going off as well. We'd have cameras on those, but unfortunately our camera crew has no idea what to do, so. Going over the results for tonight's race, Randy Arms with a surprise pass on the last lap comes home with a win, taking away that last lap chance that Chris Walker had. We'll take a look back at that in just a few moments. Johnny Wood Jr. finishing in 3rd, Chris Walker, of course, finishing in 2nd. Glenn Murphy Jr. 4th, 5th, Michael Tant, Tim Sandlin finishing in 6th, Austin Moore, Chris Ostrander, Brendan Gritz, and Clay Dildine round out 7th through 10th. Glenn Irwin, Greg Garrison, and Nicholas Wadler unfortunately did not get the chance to start this race. So we will be back in hopefully a few moments with at least a review of that last lap pass, because oh my goodness, that was amazing, and well, hopefully an interview with at least your winner tonight, Randy Arms. So, unfortunately, Randy Arms, in a way, isn't available, but of course, we'll be looking at this last lap pass. This is on the final lap of the race. Chris Walker went high. Randy Arms makes contact coming out of turn number 2 as well. Multiple times, no less. Coming down into turn number 3, pretty much a slide job was done right there. A little bit of contact was made. And then right behind them, Johnny Wood Jr. tries to come off and somehow still can't quite get that 2nd place finish and sends Chris for a really wild ride. We'll look at that again, this time from the onboard of Chris Chris Walker. I'm not sure if I said Chris Wilder or not, but nonetheless, we're going to take a look at that because that is simply amazing, amazing racing. Just amazing job by all these drivers as well. Definitely put on great entertainment for everybody tonight. It's going to make sure that everything is properly working as well. Just setting just a couple of things up in terms of camera angles, just in case we do come back here at a later date, and I hope we do because that was insanely exciting as well. But nonetheless, an amazing job by both Randy Arms and Chris Walker. Chris Walker did an even better job, though, for leading most of the laps tonight. Unfortunately, though, he only led one lap, and that's got to be pretty terrible for him, as unfortunate as it is. It's going to double check some things as well. And then we will be taking a look at your finishing, at least your final lap as well from the onboard. In fact, we're going to take a look at your final 2 laps just to make it even more interesting because, well, why take a look at 1 lap when you can take a look at 2? Because it always adds up to the excitement and just adds to the feeling as well of witnessing same thing once again. It's very exciting to watch. I'm not sure why this one thing isn't working, since it does not seem to like me. Working on that as well. But your final 2 laps will be coming up in just a short moment. Unsure why this does not want to actually like me, but camera angles are weird, so that's just how it is. Right, we're also going to take a look at the track as well from at least a live standpoint because it is pretty interesting, honestly, to see the racing surface after the race. We're going to take a look at it before, once we can, and then after. Here's a onboard look from Chris Walker. Final 2 laps here in this race. You can see just how close these 2 drivers are. You can see just the amount of mud on Randy's car as well. To the inside he goes. I see him looking to the inside, a little bit of wall slap as well, or should I say a wall tap. Didn't seem to be as kind to him, unfortunately. This is the final lap as well. This is when Chris went just a bit too wide. Look at this. Jeffers making an insane amount of contact with the cushion, as you can tell as well. Chris trying to do everything that can, makes contact. And here comes the number 9. Right here, that's Christopher Wald right after the checkers. Simply entertainment at its best as well. And I'm honestly unsure on why this actually does not want to work with me here. Cameras, again, are just being a little bit weird, but of course we still managed to work through them. We will get a shot of your racing surface before the race and after as well. Just a few short moments once we can. And I think I found the issue. Yep. found the issue. Alright, so cameras be fixed in a couple of moments. Why that has that name, but it does apparently. So the racing surface, of course, after the race is quite interesting because you can see just how different it looks compared to the beginning of the race. It's actually, it makes the racing even more interesting as well once you know that there's pretty much just almost borderline nothing left. That just depends on what track you're at, or well, pretty much for in this case it's quite interesting. Knoxville Raceway is interesting in its own right as well. Unfortunately, I am rambling just because I'm trying to get everything sorted out. And yep, for some reason this just doesn't want to work, so we'll settle for this alternative. And everything should be working properly. Hopefully. Sure seems like it. So of course, the racing surface as it looks right now, well, this is what it is. You can see just how dark in the corners it is as well. Hang into turns number 1 and 2. The start-finish line, actually this is turns 3 and 4. So we're going to wait a little bit. So you can see just how dark the line is as well. That's pretty much the preferred racing line, I believe. It's where all the rubber is thrown. You can see in that higher gray area as well to the left side. And then in pretty much the center, you can see the regular patch of racetrack, and then what I assume would be the dirt version of an apron, that darker patch as well. I don't know much about dirt tracks or whatever is what, especially Knoxville, because, well, it's Knoxville. And then before the race, that's something we're also going to take a look at once we can find the opportunistic time. As we work on that right now. And of course, this was the racing surface before the entire race, and you can see that dark line is nowhere to be found throughout pretty much this entire racetrack. Aside from the entry to turns 1 and 2, however, or at least the start-finish line, we're going to zoom in and take a look at that as well. This is pretty much, if you will, the evolution of a racing surface throughout the time. If we could do a time lapse, that'd be even better as well, but unfortunately, we didn't really plan for that, and I just now came up with the idea. But you see that dark line there, just in front of where victory lane is, pretty much the start-finish line as well. That is the only source of a dark line around this entire track. You can see right there, that's the only part of the racetrack that we have now that looks exactly the same. Compared to now, that's what it looks like. That's how much of a difference 50 laps makes here at Knoxville. So, of course, enough of the track facts and looking at tracks and basically, if you will, stalling. But we will finally close this out, and hopefully we will see you the next time that we do a broadcast. Of course, once again, make sure you actually, make sure you subscribe and, just double check just to make sure when the next race dates are. I would say on the header, but unfortunately that is not the case. Apparently, there's a bit of an error earlier at 2 minutes earlier. Alright then. Quite strange. Of course, I'm seeing through YouTube that we do have lower than the recommended bit. Wait, what? I mean lower than? I'm above the bit rate, but I'm not sure what OBS is actually doing. I have the max set to 3500. and YouTube is being weird. Nope, that's broadcasting for you. So we will head off, and of course head to facebook.com/rlbn.garyweaver. That's facebook.com/ I should say, rlbn.garyweaver. My very first post, by the very first post, I mean the one that you would see when you scroll down, the very first one labeled broadcasting dates. Keep an eye on that. That's also going to be a thing, and of course the header on the YouTube side as well. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we will see you again some other time, or at least on the next race that we do, whenever that may be. Again, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you the next race.